Hey, Holly, and oh,
Perfect. And the floor is yours.
all right, perfect. We have enough individuals.
Um, yeah, you can start sharing your screen, and then sure, Jonathan will be popping in a second as well.
Yeah.
There we go. All right.
Can everyone see my screen?
Yeah, we can.
Perfect. All right. Well, I'll get started. My name is Stanley Ramo. I'm the founder and CEO of Renavest. So Renavest is a social platform that gives everyone a community where they can learn and chat with other investors. And so the reason I ended up starting this startup, I grew up with my mother, watching my mother work three jobs to provide for my two siblings and I. So the only thing I really knew about financial literacy was how to make ends meet and just save the money that I had. It wasn't really until 2020 of May in which I actually made my first investment. And the way I ended up doing this was actually joining other different communities through social investing. And these communities had a lot of benefits. I ended up finding them on different platforms that content creators had invited members to come, whether they were on Slack, Discord, text message, DM, WhatsApp. So I was just trying to find different conversations and all these different alternative communication platforms to be able to get a leg up and learn about how to invest and just in all different forms. But the issue and the problem that I ended up facing was that I was using all of these different alternative communication methods to be able to learn. And I felt that money was moving a lot faster for me compared to me being able to join from platform to platform. And to be honest, all of these communication platforms are just alternative methods. They're not built for the active investor. So I really would have to depend on that content creator to be able to provide the information necessary for myself or other members in that group to be able to learn about different forms of investing. Also, taken in consideration, when I did end up joining these groups, I didn't find a lot of individuals that actually looked like me, and so that's minority specifically. And so I took a deeper look and found out that 43% of Americans are actually not invested in the stock market, and of that 43%, majority of them do come from diverse cultural backgrounds. And so I wanted to build out a platform, considering the problem here is that build out a platform that in which we could centralize this content and this and these communication and these conversations, because there was a really great benefit for it. But I felt like there needs to be a better platform compared to the alternative individuals are using. And so the solution I created was to be able to have users and these content creators be able to post videos, content videos on the platform. Also have be able to filter out and have conversations through stock market forums and also private and public chat rooms, all on one particular platform. And then what differentiates us from other platforms is when you think about investing from a social investing perspective, it's really about one person who has the information and somebody really wants to know what stocks to buy. And so we created features that fixes this problem through customized filtering, dynamic icons, and activity engagement that shows market trends and focus alerts. And so what the platform looks like, I envisioned, I have a fashion design background. And so from a visual perspective, I look at how to solve problems in a way that's really easy for individuals to obtain. To be honest, the stock market is very intimidating. Investing is very intimidating. And I think that's one of the main problems in which individuals aren't, joining into these conversations in the first place. So I centralized these conversations and all of this content on a map API. And as you can see, it's just really easy as a click of a button to be able to filter out your map based off of content videos. So if you click on this button, only user videos will pop up, and you can be able to engage with user videos similar to what you would do on TikTok or Instagram Reels. You click on this button, and then it'll refilter out the map to specifically stock chat rooms, in which users can just easily join a stock chat room about Apple or Google or Tesla, be able to join in those conversations. They'll also even be able to click on the icon to just watch the particular stock videos that users are posting. That way you're able to engage in 2 different formats by being on the platform. You click on the third icon and then it filters out the map to private and public chat rooms. And this and so from here you can just be able to see what chat rooms that you're most interested in, whether they're paid chat rooms, private chat rooms, be able to easily join those conversations and be able to leave those conversations and then just consume the content and information however you want. And so I mentioned what differentiates us is the way that we show on these market trends in these conversations. And so for me as a user, when I go in these chat rooms, there's a lot of noise, a lot of things that's happening, a lot of information I'm taking in. And so on our platform, you'll be able to customize your map based off of stock chat rooms, volume, news, top gainers. When I first started investing, I only traded penny stocks. So you can be able to filter out your map to show only stock chat rooms between $1 and $10. And so the detailing in regards to what I want to see makes it, pretty much of a game changer and very easy for me to be able to consume that information. Even location, if I only wanted to, see conversations that are happening in Boston and be able to network with those individuals, I can be able to filter out my map that way. We also talked about, or I mentioned dynamic icons and activity engagements. So imagine I filtered out my map and these are all stock channels. And this stock channel, particularly right here, is considered Tesla's chat room. Considering how active Tesla is on a day-to-day basis, you see this heat signal right here. So that actually shows that there's a lot of activity and daily activity happening in Tesla's conversation. So being a user that maybe doesn't know much about investing in particular, I can just easily come into the chat, come into my map, see what conversations or which stocks are having the most activity. I can be able to easily join those conversations without feeling a bunch of intimidation. And so what we wanted to do and why we wanted to utilize the map APIs, because the way we can visually show this information in these market trends and really substitute it for, scanners or the actual charting that, most experienced investors are used to using. Also, very similarly, if we show on the second image, we can easily show market trends based off of stocks that are trending up by highlighting, filtering out the map and just having only green trending up stocks showing. And so that would visually show green icons of when the stock is actually moving up or red icons when the stock is moving down. Very easy compared to any other platform that just shows market trends from a list perspective. The third thing was focus alert. So it really kind of goes back to, asking an experienced trader, like, what stock should I be buying, right? And so we're able to actually be able to formulate or answer that question by allowing users to be able to go into any private or public chat room and be able to follow any individual that, they believe are really great at, calling out particular alerts. So for instance, if David, I have on this example, is in this private chat room and Sunset is on this private chat room, I can be able to follow these 2 different individuals and have them centralize their information and alerts to a personalized, customized chat room. That way, I don't actually even have to be in that chat room, see all the 100 messages by everybody else, be drowned and intimidated by all the information. I can just see that David and Sunset both mentioned Tesla. And so now that increases my confidence in making that buying decision. And then another great thing is that you can be able to formulate your personalized alerts in timeframes. So for me specifically, I trade on a 5-minute chart time frame. So because I know that takes a certain amount of time for that stock to actually set up. So when I get my focus alerts and 2 individuals that I swear by their alerts, both say that Tesla is a purchase at a 5-minute time frame, that gives me even more utmost confidence to make that buying decision. This is just a back end of the platform. But why me and why now? And so around in 2007, right before the financial crisis, Americans was investing at a pretty high rate at 65%. Currently, right now, we're trending around at 56%. And back in 2016, it was at a low of 52%. And so there is a small uptrend in regards to Americans wanting to invest a lot more, but I believe Renavest is the platform for us to be able to get that number back to the 65%. And we do that by targeting all Americans, but specifically minorities, to get them to start engaging in these conversations. Because for, like I mentioned, even my own experience in 2020, none of my friends, none of us ever bought a stock before. And so for me, why me? I experienced this problem. Through social investing, I've actually had success when I first started by trading with other individuals, making 30,000 roughly through social investing. And then since then, my decisions on investing have been consistent. I've been an active investor since May 2020. And that's led me to even see a problem in this particular market, and once allowed me to even want to create a product that can be able to make this a better experience for all investors. Even I graduated business school, which is an added benefit, but we have a trading school at my business school at Bentley University. Never have I ever used it. And so I think there's definitely an opportunity. It doesn't matter what age or how the individual looks like. All Americans, I feel like, want to be able to get into investing. Is a matter of how do we present that content and that information to be able to do that. And so in regards to the total addressable market, right now, 150 million users in total are using retail investor mobile apps. And so in regards to my business model, if for my basic plan at $5.99 a month, if every user ended up paying $5.99 a month, we would get 900 million on a monthly basis. I ended up using Robinhood's 10 million active users that are active on Robinhood, and if they paid $5.99 a month, that would total 60 million on a monthly basis, but would be looking around 780 million on an annual basis. And so how my business model works is just as a freemium model to start off, but only having some levels of customization and to be able to create that experience. And then we just increase it based off of for the content chat creator as well as the end user to be able to make money from both parties, whether it's $5.99 a month for certain amount of customization or full customization at $9.99 a month. Extended revenue streams would be advertising, also licensing streams in which we can be able to target wealth advisors, financial advisors to be able to get in front of our users. This is part of their business model on an everyday basis, in which in trying to get users or individuals to be able to increase their financial literacy or increase their or better their financial opportunities for them. And so these are two different ways in which we can be able to make revenue from. And then also extended years down the line, NFT and metaverse particular opportunities there as well. For traction, I currently have a mailing list of 42 potential users that's consistently growing on a week-to-week basis. I did just recently launch my beta to do a beta test about a week and a half ago. As I showed you, the MVP is completed for the most part and continuously growing from a UX and UI perspective and backend. And I have two potential ambassadors to be able to want to utilize the platform because I am talking to my users. They do found a really great value for this. One member who has a Facebook group of 3,000 members, and then Slack user who has 900 users, to be able to get them to be onboarding, once the product continues to develop. Currently, my team is myself, founder and CEO, my CTO. And then we also just brought in a UX and UI developer. And then the ask is 500,000 for product development, marketing, and then also more hiring to be able to get the product to where it's at, so we can be able to allow all Americans to start investing and are engaging in those type of conversations.
All right, great job. Yeah, we're at time here, so it's going to redirect over to the startup boost. But yeah, if you want to, or I guess, yeah, if one of you want to ask a final question, and then what everybody else is going to do is click the startup boost, and each of the startups have their own table over there to interact and get to know a little bit more.
Yeah, anyone had a question before we move forward? Holly?
I don't have any specific questions. I will say that there are a lot of people entering the space that you're entering right now, kind of at the same stage that you are. So I am really curious to have a deeper understanding of what would set the product that you're building apart.
Hmm.
Because a lot of the features and a lot of the focuses are identical to many of the others that are entering the market right now, including the founders of diversity space and accessing investors of color and all of that. Like there's a lot in that space right now. So I'm just really curious to understand what is truly unique about what you're building that would set you apart.
Yeah, for sure. So I think, or I know, is the way that we're presenting the data as far as using the map API. I think that's very unique compared to the different ways that individuals are using different communication channels. Is very list and is very overwhelming perspective. So the way that we're, and for me and other individuals, it's a problem in which we want to actually make money every day, but it makes it more difficult when we can't be able to read how the market is moving, and then we can only really depend on other parties to be able to show us. And so for me, I want to be able to get individuals to social invest and invest with each other, but I want individuals to be able to be empowered and feel that they can read market data and be able to understand it and be able to do it for themselves from a long-term perspective. And that's what Renavest is really allows users to be able to do, compared to really just depending on your community moving forward and not being able to really understand what's going on in the market for you to be able to develop yourself. And yeah, you can be able to learn from YouTube and Robinhood Snacks and all of these different things that gives you information and content. But when it comes to certain things, and especially investing itself as well, it's kind of takes like a hand-in-hand process, and it takes it's not a short-term or overnight perspective in which you're going to be able to learn everything that it takes to be successful in it. But I think Renavest, or I know Renavest provides the content in a way that you can be able to confidently read the market from a visual perspective, and to be able to make better buying decisions.
Great. Yeah, great job, and yeah, great presentation and question.
Yeah, we'd love
So
to
yeah,
talk
now we're gonna
more as well.
yeah,
Cool.
now we're gonna head over startup booth. Stanley, you can go to your booth, and everybody else can pick and choose where they want to go and ask questions. So
Great.
yeah, great job, and appreciate all the feedback, questions, and support.